Wow.
It was something that turned into something else.
We started with the E minor and then we went to the E major and it became creepy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Anyway.
I finally come out as a creep.
Welcome back to Andertons TV,
Hello.
Mr. Pete, Mr. Lee, in the studio, talking about some modern Gibsons.
So light. It's like flew off the shelf.
Yeah, I know. So these two new models of Gibson guitar came out relatively recently. I think this one came out first. The red one that Pete's got came out second. So yes,
Look how tin it is.
This is a wafer thin, just one more wafer. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, Mr. Fat Bastard from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
I remember
Go
that.
on, just one more wafer.
And exploded.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, this is a wafer thin Gibson Les Paul called the Modern Lite. Really, that's its main feature that makes it different from the rest of the range. Is not quite half the thickness, but substantially less thick than a normal Les Paul.
But a little bit carved, right?
Like, yeah.
Oh, still got a carve on the
belly
top.
cut on the inside there for me belly. A few different colours which will be on screen now, but yes, literally
That's going to be popular, I think.
It's like paper light.
Yeah.
All made of mahogany, so it's not it's not made of paper mache or anything like that. Mahogany guitar. I'm going to talk about the specs in a minute, but
so this is the studio modern. So a bit like the Supreme we did a video on, the one that John Connon bought. If you want to watch that video, it's up there. And use the timestamps as well, and like and subscribe. So you get a slim neck here. You get a sort of a. I wouldn't. Maybe it needed a little bit more there, but it's
not
you
the
got sharp
all-access
corner.
neck joint, is it? But it's a little bit chamfered.
Yeah, chamfered. That's a
like
big word for
it?
big man. And it's got a binding underneath here. I like I think it comes in 4 different colours. This is like a
binding, or is that just a reveal?
It is a binding. See? No, look.
I don't know. I think it's just a reveal. No, I think it's just the maple. It's just.
Is it?
It's just a reveal.
It looks a bit like a binding. Ebony fretboard, of course. You got all your switching, so with the push pulls, split, and then you got a straight to through, and then in the middle position you got your cocked Peter Green type sound.
So I'm always slightly torn with these guitars from Gibson because they're down at that kind of crossover point where you go, do you buy a really posh Epiphone? And you know that Epiphone are moving into that sort of really posh things like the Greenie limited edition Les Paul that they did.
They're less money than these though, right?
No, not. They're
really?
Less money than those, but not a lot less money, but same kind of price as this. So you're in that territory where you could buy a guitar made in Nashville with the G on the headstock, but you accept that it doesn't have binding and it doesn't have a nitro. Well, like certainly doesn't have a gloss nitro finish. And we've gone with these are actually a 490 and a 498 rhythm and treble pickup. So they're not cheap pickups or anything like that, but the lack of a metal cover and stuff makes them perhaps look a bit more affordable. Not these. I don't know why they've. I wonder if this is about weight. Trying to reduce the weight, but they've gone for like mini Grovers on the headstock.
Yeah.
doesn't, it does come with a shell case, but not the deluxe case that you would get. Bag. Yeah, with
now 2 straps to you.
So you either go for this sort of really stripped back but American made, or do you go with all the bells and whistles but made in the Far East?
Well, you even get a Gibson headstock on some of those.
You do now, yeah. The greenie is a Gibson headstock. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure that. In my heart, I always think that logically you should buy the Epiphone one because you just get loads more for your money for the same price. But that's in my head, sorry. Yeah. In my heart, I'm always sort of going, yeah, but there's something about, made in Nashville and da-da-da. Yeah, but that's your choice, right? But that's the price that we're at.
That's your prerogative.
Shall I give you some tones on this?
Yes, you shall.
Yes. So I've turned all my pedals off.
Oh actually, my God, really?
I have now. It does sound good though.
It just sounds good.
It sounds. That's that treble pickup there. It's the 498, I think, and it's always been like a high output kind of pickup. So it does. I'm in a very clean amplifier with the preamp gain at barely over sort of like 9 or 10 o'clock. So it should be super clean.
Tell Noel your settings.
My settings are master volume 10, bass. Oh, I tell you what a surprise! Bass 12 o'clock, mid 12 o'clock, treble 12 o'clock,
there you go.
Reverb at about 10 o'clock, and volume about 10 o'clock as well. And I'm not using the tremolo that's built in. I'm really into this middle position thing. What's going on, Pete?
Well, came from that. That came from that whole thing, didn't it? That was the middle position with Dave Grohl.
But I think for a clean sound on a 2 humbucker Les Paul or 2 humbucker Gibson guitar, middle position's a great clean sound.
It's got this mid.
My electronics are really simple. There's no pushy pulley.
Oh, you don't have any?
No.
Everything with the knobs.
Have some ganache. What do you fancy today? A bit of fuzz or a bit of
What
Dane?
do I fancy?
Yeah.
It's not what I fancy, it's what you fancy.
Know,
you
were
playing
fuzz. A bit fierce. Bit of Dane. I literally threw it in there like twice.
Never
It's just got that throaty, classic raw, bit of compression. I like it. For me, I don't feel like I need, my back is still in reasonable shape. I'm not, I'm not weak. I sort of don't feel like I need the thin version of this.
No.
But you'll know, right? If your back's shot or, I don't know, you just struggle with the thickness of a regular Les Paul or you just want something that's way lighter, then this is probably a decent bet for you. Feels like a Les Paul, sounds like a Les Paul. It's only really that sense it just sits a little closer to the body. Oh, and we talked about the colours, didn't we? Loads of colours, but they are this, let's get a close-up here, Mr. D.
Mr. T.
They are this very thin, sunk into the finish, so it allows the grain of the wood to see
like
through.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's like a double whammy, this finish, because it obviously is cheaper to apply than building up the full gloss thingy. And actually, I love seeing the grain of the wood through it. So I'm like, yeah, that's a cool thing.
Careful saying that it allows the wood to breathe, Lee, because then we're going to get the comment section.
Even Paul Reed Smith the other day said tone wood makes a difference. Tone wood, I don't even like the word. What I should say is, don't even call it tone wood. That's misleading. It's just wood. Different wood. The way it affects the weight, the way it affects the sustain, the sort of the resonance, stuff like that. It's a small. Paul Reed Smith said it's a small difference.
Did you see?
Small,
but everything.
But it is there.
Small difference.
Apart
Did you see that guy?
Says it doesn't.
He was doing a top of an acoustic guitar, and then he had this. He was banging it like boom, 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 and carving the braces, and the tone, the whole thing changed every time he carved a little bit off, and he was trying to match all the bits around it.
That's mad, isn't it? Because that's apparently back in the olden days, before guitars were like mass produced, in thousands a day. That is, and again, we're talking about acoustic guitars here, and I don't think there's any argument anywhere in the community that wood doesn't make a difference on an acoustic guitar. But you're right. What they would do is that the really skilled luthiers would have a top, and they would uniquely carve the bracing
to fit
differently on each top, just to really make sure that the top.
That piece of wood had full...
Which is not... So we're not talking about anything on these. So anyway. So that's my guitar. Yeah. What have you got, Mr. P?
I've got a super modern one. I'm just going to speed up and down this fretboard like a demon.
A demon?
It's the same kind of finish, I think, as you have. Especially, the neck is the same. But this is kind of a satin.
Yeah, you've got grain filler on yours. So
I haven't got grain filler.
Yours is the smoothness that you'd get, but without that high build up of the sort of the lacquer on it. So it's like a satin but smooth.
I would like to see one of these like that. I think that looks really cool.
It is a cool looking finish. Yeah. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it is. I like it.
Yeah. Have you seen the smoke? All the hardware, smoky chrome, smoky chromeness.
Smoky chrome and the Bandits.
And no toggle switch. I miss all that.
You mean the poker
ring, poker ring? I think. Yeah,
but that is what the studio's about.
Exactly,
the studio's
it's simplicity.
About to keep the essence of the guitar, take off all the frivolous stuff, and then it should be, it's like half the price, isn't it, for basically the same guitar?
Yeah. Anyway, let's get some tones here.
Yes.
So the pickups are the same as the ones you have. It's the same pickup, but a covered one. So they should sound exactly the same because wood doesn't make a difference. Thinness, all this stuff, right? It sounds great, man.
Has that short come out yet, where 4 different players play the same?
I don't know if that's gone out yet.
So I tell you what, again, this is what makes the biggest difference. We did a YouTube short the other day where Pete, Oz, Tay, and
Ben
Elmer, right?
Yeah.
Play the same riff on the same guitar through the same rig, just everything. One after each other, and that's what makes the biggest difference.
It is
who's the player. And I'm not saying they were all, obviously, Pete's probably the only one of those 4 that's had a career as a professional musician, but they're all reasonably decent guitar players, right? And
it's also the style you play,
But that's what made the biggest difference, wasn't it?
Didn't we do 2 of those? I think we did 2 of those that come out.
Anyway, sorry, I digress.
That's fine. You all
like and subscribe, you'll see all the shorts if you do that.
Right, neck pickup. No pedals. Straight into the Deputy with no settings are actually I've put a little bit more bass on and taken a little bit of treble off.
I'm going to phone Martin Kidd and berate him.
Yeah. It breaks up this amp just right.
A 1-finger E minor. You play an E minor 7 there, did
like
you?
that.
Are you just muting that?
No, I just did an E minor 7.
Oh, you did?
But you can. I tried the Tom Bukovac style where he literally plays 2 strings at once.
With 1 finger?
With 1 finger.
Popular, man.
Yeah, it's a popular trick. Middle position. It's got that beautiful chime. It's really nice to play. The neck is a bit too thin for me. I feel like I need some more girth in my hand.
Very much a 60s C, isn't it?
It's a 60s C, yeah. with the flatter radius board as well, you know, with the 12 or 14, I think it's 12, but it just all becomes a little bit sort of, for me, this is me I'm talking about, I'm talking for me, not for you. You can do whatever you like up there. That sounds good. Here's the bridge. Again, no pedals.
Oh, it's so growly.
It's
growly. I like it.
Is that what they get in Harry Potter when Ron's mum sent him a growler? Or is it the letter that comes in and...
I don't know. Do you know what? I've never seen a Harry Potter film.
Have you not?
No.
What?
And you still haven't seen... long list of all the other great films I've never seen.
I saw a... when I took the train up, I saw a young kid reading the book, the first Harry Potter book, on the train. I'm like, how wonderful is that?
I mean, I say I've never... I've seen snippets at Christmas and stuff, but I've never start to finish watched a film.
And you have to watch the Crossroads as well, man. Honestly, I can't believe both me and Jet have bought you the copies, and they're still wrapped in your office. It's an embarrassment.
It is. I agree.
Anyway, Split. I don't like that.
Don't you?
That's the Split bridge pickup.
It's not as...
I said that sort of with kind of authority. I don't like that. I'm just not the player for that kind of thing. The sound.
It's not. Just out of interest. Do the neck one as well.
Yeah, of course. That's better.
Neither of them are as bright as I thought they would be.
No, and it's just I feel like it's just a weird sound that a Les Paul doesn't need.
But that's the modern, isn't it? The whole modern vibe is to give you as many features as they can cram on.
Yeah, and you might put a little bit of delay on there and display some. Today. Not just today.
You know, whilst you've got loads of reverb on, can you play Albatross in your Peter Green position, please?
Oh, God. How do you play Albatross
like
again?
Martin Spencer's, you know.
2 hours later.
It's a great opportunity to actually show what would that have sounded like had Peter Green's guitar not accidentally been modded or whatever.
I don't think he played it on that, did he? Was that the sound for it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, it would sound like this. But he would probably have gone on the back pickup. Certainly wouldn't have split it. They didn't have split back then, did they?
Do you know what? You've concerned me now. I'm sure Albatross is the iconic out of, you know, why
it does sound. I like that sound. It's a nice
great sound.
Yeah,
it's a good sound.
And then the last switch here is straight to your mum's house.
Bridge humbucker.
Yeah.
Bypass the volume and tone control, so it doesn't matter where any of this stuff is set.
Yeah.
As soon as you pop it out,
straight to the through.
Maximum ganache.
Here's the. I've got a Herculean.
Have you?
Herculean. Deluxe overdrive, so it's the new pedal.
I just meant
Herculean. Herculean mammoth. So that's what it does.
Yes.
So if I'm here. Or I guess if I'm here.
Yeah. Well, the idea would be you'd dialed back sort of setting or whatever, and then you just want to go straight to.
Yeah, so maybe I'm on the middle position and playing my.
any difference.
Doesn't do anything, no. But that's because
you've got the thing out. That's right. Yes.
Anyway.
All right. Well, look.
It's nice guitar. It plays really nicely.
There's a few different colours in this as well.
4.
That is about $18.99, something like that. So it's about £400 dearer than these, but it's still, still a good £600 or £700 cheaper than a Les Paul Standard, and it's half the price of the Les Paul Supreme. So, it's like I said before,
they're popular guitars,
if you want the big G on the headstock and you want your stuff made in America, it just,
it's a good gateway.
That's how much it's going to cost you. Anyway, right, we're going to jam out at the end. I'm going to play the white Studio
I'll play this,
Modern, and Pete's going to play the pink or champagne coloured
Rose.
Rosé Studio Lite. Links will be below if you'd like to find out more about any of these guitars. Obviously, you can purchase one if you like, but yes, thank you so much for joining us today. See you in another video soon.